Hello and welcome to In the Money Media's continuing coverage of the Triple Crown Prep Races. PTF and JK back with you for DK Horse. Make sure you download the DK Horse app today. JK, we are on the Florida road to the Kentucky Derby. It's often a fruitful one. The Holy Bull, an important stepping stone. How important do you think this year's race is in determining who might win this year's Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, if you look at the field here, it feels like really to me that whoever wins this race is likely going to be that type of horse that throws themselves to the front of the conversation, the type of horse that could find themselves very high on our top 10 list that we've been doing, that we'll continue to do leading up to the Kentucky Derby. It just has that feel with horses that are right on the edge of those triple digit figures, right on the edge of really kind of throwing themselves into the front of that conversation.
You mentioned the Kentucky Derby top 10 list. We've got a horse who's very prominent on that list, reappearing at the races in this one. That's incredible. I do want to encourage folks, though, to check out our latest top 10 video. Have a feeling we might be doing another one right after this. If you subscribe to the In the Money Media YouTube channel, you won't miss any of our YouTube exclusive content on this road to the Kentucky Derby. What about Incredible in here? I know you and I are both sort of taking a wait and see attitude compared to our man Eric DeCoster, who puts together the top 10 list. I mean, seems like the right spot for his return to the races. I just have a suspicion he's going to get a lot better the next time we see him than here, but I still have him as kind of a sleeper contender, and he's not one that I'm going to be leaving off of too many things. Where are you with Incredible in this exact spot?
The tricky part about him is he's got about 15 to 20 points it feels like he's going to have to find versus some horses like Canoneer, Nearly, even Butane, depending on how Butane progresses. So that's the biggest concern, I think. The one thing I will say that's probably the good news is I actually ran into Riley Mott at the Eclipse Awards, and I told him that Eric DeCoster had put Incredible second on our Derby top 10, and he was pretty shocked by that, but not that he didn't believe in the horse, but just that others believed in the horse as well. And then he didn't give me much more. I wonder where he got that from.
Very interesting. Very interesting. It's good to know. I mean, nobody's done better over the years than Eric DeCoster at spotting some of these sleeper types. Another one who's appeared on some Derby lists, Canoneer for Brad Cox. This one has a nice figure last time out. He'll certainly be in the betting around this race. What do you think of him?
Yeah, look, like I said, I mean, a $1.75 million Into Mischief, trained by Brad Cox, owned by St. Elias and Stone Street. Those are all the things that make sense when you're looking for a Kentucky Derby winner. I think that he's one that is one of the two or three in here that I think if they win, they kind of thrust themselves to the front of the conversation. He's got tactical speed. He's trained by Brad Cox. We know that Brad kind of has that same thing that Bob Baffert does, where he puts his good horses together, and the cream kind of rises to the top. So you know that he's going to be ready off of this break. I wish, I suppose, if I wanted to be in the Canoneer corner, that he was drawn outside of Nearly. I think he's going to get some pressure from that inside post. Being on the outside is just that much easier. But I wouldn't be shocked at all if Canoneer shows up and runs off the screen.
Has that speed, but there are others that have similar unexposed, but in the right hands. We'll see what happens with Canoneer, with Irad Ortiz Jr. in the irons. Now, latest reports have it that Butane, who's cross-entered in the Southwest, will not be going here in the Holy Bull. May be going in the Southwest, may go in neither, depending on flights and some of the problems heading around. But I think since nothing is he's not officially scratched, I don't think he's going to go here. If he does somehow against the odds turn up here, how big of a contender is Butane?
Yeah, he looks like kind of a second stringer. Probably why he's ending up on that potential standby list for some planes. If you're hearing he's probably not coming, he's probably not coming. I think he'll have his hands full with these two big horses in in Canoneer and Nearly, no matter what.
Well, we've teased the horse that we both have as our top pick. Before we get to the conversation around Nearly, want to let folks know that we want to hear who they think is going to win the Holy Bull. Make sure you drop that down in the comments. But let's hear your case for Nearly, who I'm intuiting is your top pick in here.
Yeah, I mean, look, Todd does this very well. He develops these 3-year-olds. I understand that his record in the Kentucky Derby doesn't seem to be all that great, but man, he gets a lot of horses into that gate, and it's a hard race to win, the Kentucky Derby. So I'm not going to knock him for that. Ask Steve Asmussen about how hard of a race it is to win. This is a horse who's drawn really well. He's tactical. He's going to try this 2-turn opportunity for the first time. He passed the 7 furlong test very well. He got a fast number. There's nothing wrong at all with being a not this time nowadays. I just think that Nearly feels like one who's progressing. He had that first race where he didn't do much running. He's run really well in his 2 races since then, and now he shows up here. He's a Florida bred, but man, he might not know that he's a Florida bred. He looks like he could be a very talented horse and one that could be progressing in the right way for Todd Pletcher.
There's been some real good Florida breds over the years as well, I'll point out. Yeah, you want to, as a, half-baked wise guy horse player, try to be against a big figure earned in a 4-horse field, but that 97 from Nearly really does set the standard. And the other thing about this one is, in terms of the stretch out and distance, another question some will have, just looking at the way this horse finished, looking at the bloodlines, I think is going to be suited by this distance. Nearly a major player for me, and one that I'm going to have just about everywhere. Any other thoughts on this Holy Bull? Anything to get a piece at a wild price? Any other thoughts on the race shape or anything like that before we send this one home?
No, I actually think if you like Nearly or Canoneer, I think the presence of each of them will give you an opportunity to get a pretty square price. I guess if the public goes crazy for one of them, I wouldn't have any problem pivoting. If they get out of control with Nearly, I'd have no problem going to Canoneer, and vice versa. If they go crazy for Canoneer, I've got no problem on my top choice with Nearly.
It's a great and underrated point, JK. We come on these videos, we make picks, and that's our job, and we're not going to stop. But at the end of the day, we're not betting on horses and teams. We're betting on prices, and that's going to be a market to watch for sure when it comes to this Holy Bull on Saturday. Major Triple Crown implications. That's the word I'm looking for. We also got the Forward Gal on this card as well. There's going to be lots of terrific stuff to get stuck into. And I'm looking forward to it very much. Thanks to you one more time, JK. Thanks again to our friends at DK Horse. We'll remind you to download the DK Horse app today to take advantage of everything they have to offer and to keep tabs on what cool promotions they have coming down the pike.